Hey, we're here today to talk about rowing and drag factor. Drag factor is the resistance you feel on the chain when you start to row. The Concept 2 rowers have a option when you press menu that you can display your drag factor so you know what it actually is. It actually has a number. Each rower is a little bit different depending on age, altitude, how they're set, dust in the flywheel. Everything's a little bit different. So each time you get set up to row, depending on which rower it is, it's important to check your drag factor. So Lynn's going to come around and kind of show you where we can find it. So if you press menu, this thing says more options. Click that. It says display drag factor. That's what we want here today. So then if you always kind of forget what's going on, you hit more about drag factor, talk a little bit about it. But what we want to know is what yours is between 100 and 140. That's usually the best setting for whatever you're going to do. If I'm going to row, let's say a 5K, I'd want a lower drag factor because I'm going to have a whole bunch of pulls, so I don't want to be as tired, so I can maintain my pace. If I just have a really short race, let's say 500, 1,000, something like that, or it's just short intervals in a CrossFit workout where I'm rowing 250 and getting off, I'd want to have higher drag factors so I can get on and get off and get that max distance before I get too tired. So everybody's a little bit different drag factor depending on height, how far I can pull the chain out, my weight. Everything's a little bit different. So that's why this option is really cool, so you can kind of see what it is. So it says row to display drag factor. That's what we're going to do. So right now I have it set for me at a 5, so let's see what that looks like. So go ahead and get set up. And it's important to remember that as I row, it doesn't matter how hard I pull on this chain, the drag factor will remain constant. So here we go, get set. So as I row at a 5, this is kind of my bottom end. So I'm at a 104, I can pull really, really hard, and my drag's still the same at a 104. So I know that for me in this rower, that at a 5, I'm going to row at a 104. So whatever distance I'm going to go, whether it's a 5K or 10K, this would be my bottom end at a 5. So let's say I bump it up. We're going to do a 500 sprint, something like that. Let's see what an 8 looks like. Go ahead and get set again. And then I'm at 140, 144, 146, so maybe that's a little bit too much, so I'll just go ahead and bump it down to maybe even a 7.5, see what that looks like. Looks like right about a 7, 7.5 would be my upper end for my drag. So what that means is that even if I have the ability to row, let's say 500 meters in 2 minutes at a 10, that I could row the same 500 meters at a lower drag, or excuse me, lower damper setting at the 7.5 and get the same time but use less effort to do that. So then what means in the CrossFit workout is I can row 500 meters, get off the rower and I'll have more energy to do wall balls, push press, or whatever else it has in the workout. That's kind of it.